The January 18, 2018 meeting of the Princeton Planning Board is called to order. Pursuant to Section 13 of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of the time and place of this meeting has been given by prominently posting the 2018 agenda resolution of the regularly scheduled meetings of the Princeton Planning Board. Such notice has been placed on the official bulletin board at the Princeton Municipal Complex and is to be maintained throughout the year by transmitting a copy of such schedule to the Princeton Packet, Town Topics, The Times, Trentonian, and Comcast Media. A copy has been filed with the Clerk of Princeton on the 8th day of December 2017. Legal notice of the adoption of said resolution appeared in the December 15, 2017 edition of the Princeton Packet. Eileen, please call a roll.
Ms. Capizzoli?
Here.
Mr. Cohn?
Here.
Mrs. Gunning?
Here.
Mr. Quinn?
Here.
Mr. Stankiewicz?
Here.
Mr. Texarney?
Here.
Mrs. Trotman?
Here.
Mrs. Ullman?
Here.
Mr. Williamson? Ms. Wilson?
Here.
Ms. Sachs?
Here.
We have a quorum.
We're going to skip item number 2 on the agenda for a moment and go right to reorganization of the board. Does a member of the nominating committee have a report?
I do.
Okay.
I would like to report on behalf of the nominating committee that it was discussed and recommended that we keep the same leaders for the planning board in 2018 as we had in 2017, namely Wanda Gunnings to serve as chair, Gail Ullman to serve as vice chair, and I would like to make that a motion at the appropriate time.
Okay, you can make that right now. Should we treat that as a motion?
Excuse me?
Should we treat that as a motion? You can.
Please do.
Okay, and do I hear a second?
And
I'll
I'd like
second.
To,
I'm sorry.
Okay.
yeah, because I'm on the nominating committee too. And I also agreed to this continuance of our great leadership, along with Mildred Trotman officially being the person who should adjourn our meetings.
Okay. Do I hear any other nominations? Eileen, could you please call a roll?
Ms. Capizzoli?
Yes.
Mr. Cohn?
Yes.
Mrs. Gunning?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mr. Stankiewicz?
Yes.
Mr. Texarney?
Yes.
Mrs. Trotman?
Yes.
Mrs. Ullman?
Yes.
Ms. Wilson?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And I hope it'll be an exciting year. Let me point out to all of you something that I should have said in December, namely that we have Jerry Muller as our attorney, and he will be doing a lot of the meetings. For those of you who don't know Jerry, he's a partner in Miller, Porter, and Muller, and he's done things for the planning board off and on for many years, but he's going to be with us on a more regular basis. A couple of people called me up and asked me who he was, so now you all know. You did, I think, receive a packet of things electronically, and we have a couple of other items that we need to do. First of all is the appointment of the planning board attorney. You all should have had that in your packet. Does somebody want to move that one?
So
I'll
moved.
move it. Okay.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. The next resolution was the appointment of the planning board secretary. This is Eileen Cotroneo again, in case you haven't read the sheet. Does somebody want to move that?
So moved.
Second. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. The next, let's see, the next resolutions are, the first one is a resolution for special meetings, and the second one is a resolution for fixed charges for meeting notices. Do you want to take these two together and somebody move that?
Julie Capizzoli, I'll move both.
Okay, it's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Great. Now that brings us to the findings of fact, and since I recused myself on this,
How about the minutes?
Madam Chair, I also recuse myself on that. Julie Capizzoli, I also recuse myself on that.
okay, so Gail, do you want to do that? You chair that.
Why, yeah, Shirley, why do I have the minutes for June 15th?
You do. They're the next item on the
Oh, they're
agenda
fine,
after this.
oh, okay, sorry. Okay.
It should be corrections, additions.
That's right. This was the finding of facts for the Gardner Asphalt appeal from the Historic Preservation Commission regarding the fence along Cherry Hill Road frontage from Tusculum. And let me hear if you have any questions or corrections or changes of any sort that you'd like to recommend. Seeing none, the only one I have, Jerry or Lee, whoever is concerned, is in the second paragraph on the first page where we repeat the then existing fence about 6 times, but that's okay. What I did think that in the first time we ought to indicate that the existing fence had been approved by the HPC in whatever year it was.
97?
70, I mean, 1964. Only because it seems substantive to explain,
Yeah, it's all
to
wrong in
to
here.
confirm that the HPC had been involved with this project at an earlier date, as we heard.
Was that going back to 64?
No, there was no HPC in 64.
1997?
Oh.
So, I mean, that's not substantive, but it seemed to me it sort of made a little stronger sense of that paragraph, if the lawyers agree.
Somebody-
That's you?
I agree with that.
Then may I move the finding of fact with the correction?
Do I hear a second? That's Mrs. Stratman?
Second, Tim Quinn.
Second, Tim Quinn. All in favor? Oh, do we have to do this by individual vote? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 2 of our members were absent at that meeting, and they did not vote.
I was also absent, so.
3 of our members were absent and did not vote. Only the people who are listed on the back, on the last page, did vote. So, good, okay.
Okay. So that actually brings us to the one set of minutes that you got in your package. This was the regular meeting of June 15th, 2017. And were there any additions or corrections on that?
Julie Capizoli moved to approve.
Okay, it's been moved to approve. Is there a second?
Second, Mildred Trotman.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right, that sort of is the major part of the business for the evening, and now we're moving on. Jerry has reminded me that we have tomorrow morning, there's a Neighborhood Character Task Force meeting at 10 o'clock in Meeting Room A. Those of you who are interested in this, please come and sit in, because we're hearing, I believe, a presentation from our consultant as to what he's planning. So it's a good time to become acquainted with this group. I think that we're going to adjourn for the legal session. Are we going in room A? So do we come back in here to close the meeting? Right.
I move to adjourn to go into closed session.
Is there a second for that?
Yeah, and the motion should state what the purpose of the closed session is, and I would just say here to discuss various legal issues.
Mildred, and you have to add, and to just, we're
I
going,
should say what?
we're going into closed session to discuss various legal issues.
I move that we go into closed session to discuss legal issues.
Second, Tim Quinn.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so we will be moving to room A.